Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, and you know, for the past few years, I've been showing you how birds love cups. All birds, house finches, hummingbirds, you name it, they come to it. And they only cost you, what, a quarter, and you probably have it in your cupboard anyways. I'm going to show you today how we can deck this thing out and bring the birds in for very little money and propagate plants as well. So we can enjoy the birds taking a bath and grow free plants. At least that's what I do. So let's go see how easy it is to put together a fountain for the birds. Maybe it's for you. Sit back, enjoy, and de-stress. So I make so many of these hummingbird fountains, and I went to the store and bought some cups, four for $1.25, and I put it together, and right away the hummingbirds came to it. That was just fine, but you know what the issue was? I've been showing this as I've been talking about different types of fountains I make, and some of you came and said, wait a minute, how did you make the cup fountain? And I thought, oh my goodness, I made one years ago that was solar, but I haven't showed you how I made this one using the USB, which of course you can use on the solar too. So let's get into that. As many of you know, 2 years ago, I made a fountain that was solar, and it was made with a cup. It was very simple. You put the pump inside and you just sit it in anything you want. It was very portable and easy to maneuver and put in any bowl or any vessel that you wanted to. That video from 2 years ago went over 1 million because it's so popular and so easy to do. Well, the one we're going to do today can be used for any solar fountain as well, because if we're going to tweak it and change it up a little bit, seems to work better than the other one I made. But we're going to do this one in a pet fountain. Remember, you can make the same thing for a solar fountain, but since a lot of us are using the pet fountain, it comes with a container, the tray, and everything. You don't have to look for anything, and they're like 20 bucks. We're going to use the cup this way, but we're going to change it. Why? Because we're going to give the hummingbirds a little bit more room to take their bath and a better place to stand. It works out fantastic. You'll see as we get into it how easy it is to do, and also what you want to look for, because there's a couple things that might make it more enticing for the hummingbirds to come in. And of course, all the other birds are going to use it too. And then we're going to do something really fun at the end after I get the fountain set up in the yard, which is going to be fun. But let's get into the few minutes of how easy it is to set up with any pet fountain that has a spout in the middle. Now, cups are really good to use. The birds love them. I told you about that other video. Look for something with a rim. Now, a lot of times your cups, especially from the dollar stores, will have a sticker underneath. If you try to peel it off, it's going to come off in pieces. Pour some very warm water in there. Let it sit for literally a minute, not even seconds. You can see it here. Stir it around, and what happens is the glue from the sticker starts to release. It makes it much easier to get rid of the sticker. Now, even if it's in pieces, this one's kind of sliced up, it will still all come off, including the glue. It's kind of like rubber glue. It just will start to peel off, and you won't have to try to scrub off the sticky glue or do whatever you have to do. And that works on medicine bottles and a lot of different things. So remember that little secret, and then you'll have a nice, clean cup or whatever you're taking the glue from. Now, I'm going to use jumbo straws here, and they're all a little different, but I'll show you how to tweak it in case it doesn't work. We're going to put a hole in the middle of the cup, and notice we're turning this one upside down. Now, the reason we're going to have it upside down, because there's different ways of doing it, is that rim. We don't have to use anything on there. That rim is a perch for hummingbirds. So we're going to make the hole big enough for the straw. See that? And with this hot soldering iron, which I love, I use it all over the garden and for all my projects. It works wonders on plastic. Now, we've got a perfect hole, and there it is. The straw goes through the center of this wonderful, beautiful plastic cup. Let's take it outside. This is the pump I'm going to use, but any of the water fountains that you buy that have a center spout will work. I've used it on so many of them. This one comes with a filter. I never use a filter for the birds. That's just the way I put it together, the way it came. Now I'm testing the straw, and the straw is too big. That is for the pump. The pump spout itself is a little bit smaller. You could use painter's tape and wrap it around when it's dry on the pump, and then stick a straw, or you can buy tubing at Home Depot or Lowe's if you'd rather do that. I found that straws are easier. You know, they last for a long time because they're always wet, and they don't crack, It works great. I take some straws and I split them down the middle. What I'm doing is I'm building the spout up. So with this pump, the pump nozzle, one straw strip that I'm putting in here will not be enough because it's kind of on the thin side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build it up with 2 strips of straws. It really works and it makes everything nice and snug. Now all I have to do is slip on my straw. Now these are jumbo straws, remember that. And it will go on really nice and tight. You could lift the whole pump up. Now, being that the tray's got a hole, we don't have to do anything but put the tray on, and then we can put the cup on top. And we're just gonna slip the straw through the hole we made, and it's gonna all stay in place. The cup is being held by the straw, and the straw is being held by the pump because the straw is in the pump. And the pump has little suction cups on the bottom, so it's not going anywhere. Now we're just gonna cut it. If we want it really short, we can do it short. You can want it longer, it doesn't matter. And then you plug it in to your power bank. This is the same thing you buy for your cell phone. It's kind of a backup battery if you forgot to charge your phone. They work great, and I get a 10,000 or 20,000 unit, and it works really good. Look at this. I have found that the 20,000 unit for me seems to run for 4 days and nights, though you can shut it off at night or unplug it. A 10,000 unit will be more than enough. Just unplug it at night when you're around. That's it, we're done. It's ready to set up in the garden, and of course we can deck it out a little bit. You can set it in a bowl, a basket, anything you want. The birds love it. And on a hot day, drop in an ice cube on top. And one more note, since setting up the cup works on any of these pet fountains, sometimes the hole is in the middle, see that? And it could create a little bit of a suction, so the water may not run good back into that hole. So what you can do is take a hot soldering iron and go all the way around and make these cuts kind of into the cup. What that's going to do is when the water releases and goes down the cup and into that tray, it's going to go straight into the bottom reservoir so it can pump back up. The other option would be to make holes in your tray, but I figured I'd rather do it in a 50-cent cup than a $15, $20 pet fountain. So this way I can always do it later if I want or not. Now, I told you we're going to do something special with this beautiful pet fountain. We're going to take an oversized bowl. I got this at a dollar store and I paid like $1.50 for it. You don't need holes in it. That's totally up to you. And then I got those 4 flower pots at Dollar Tree. 4 for $1.25. They didn't have holes, so I'm taking my hot soldering iron and I'm making holes in each one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to propagate some beautiful geraniums. Now, you could put any flowers you want in here, but I decided why not propagate some geraniums at the same time I'm enjoying my beautiful fountain set up outside. It's so fun. And now you just take it outside. You set it up like you would, even if you were just going to set it up without anything. Put it all together, and when you're all done, you put your flowers in there, and then you sit back and enjoy it. And I'm going to tell you something. The birds all loved having the flowers. Now, of course, you could use silk flowers. You could use succulents. You could use anything you want. But this has been such a joy to watch all the birds come to it. And it's eye-pleasing. You look outside, and it looks beautiful. I probably should have gone with green or a different color, but that was the color I picked up, the red with the kind of purpley pink flowers. But you decor it the way you want, and I think you're going to be really excited on how this works. And let me tell you, the birds continue to come to it. It looks pretty, it's fun, and of course this one's on a USB, but you could do the same thing with a solar fountain kit. So be sure to check out my other videos with so many ideas. And remember, if you're using a USB, just keep the battery unit out of the rain. I put mine in a plastic bag or a little pencil bag that goes in a notebook, anything that's going to keep it dry. And if you can, cover it up so it's not in direct sunlight, and then you are good to go. Remember, the pump itself is completely waterproof. Don't worry about it. The cord is waterproof. That's all we have to worry about is where we're plugging it in. And it's only 2 watts, so everything is safe with that. I hope I gave you tips, tricks, and ideas. Watch the other videos because I'm always adding in so many ideas that I don't even bring up. You look and you go, wow, how'd she do that? So I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe if you like to give it a thumbs up, and I would love to have you subscribe. And with that, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Oh my goodness, and we grow a lot. Why? Because the hummingbirds are our pollinators in the garden. Bye-bye. They're such a joy.